Washington, D.C. over the weekend. The weather perhaps impacted the crowds, but certainly New York City is prepared for any possible fallout or result of the change of power. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Taitt has been following that as the NYPD, always monitoring anything nefarious that might be brewing. Phil, what are you hearing from the NYPD about how they're preparing?
Yeah, well, Mike, good morning. Right now, the NYPD outside of Trump Tower here on 5th Avenue, there are about a couple of vehicles just lining the outside of the property, and that's as they are preparing for any possible protest that could spark at any moment. As you've been sharing with us, we are inching closer to the moment when President-elect Trump will be sworn in as our next president. We saw some demonstrations here over the weekend. Let's get straight to some video right now. This was just on Saturday. You could see a sea of people there and signs as many made their way from Foley Square to Washington Square Park, bringing many together for the People's March. There were folks championing behind a range of issues from reproductive rights, immigration, to the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Now, today's inauguration also landing on today's federal holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and rallies and events had kicked off across the city, including the many Democratic leaders that had joined together at the National Action Network in Harlem just on Saturday. Now, this morning, Reverend Al Sharpton and Nan will march in Washington, D.C. from King's Memorial to an AME church calling for justice, equality, and change. Mayor Adams also weighing in on possible demonstrations that we could see. Let's take a listen.
That's what we do in America. We protest. And the beauty is we have the right to protest. You know, Dr. King, as we acknowledge his birthday, he led some of the most important protests of our time. There's nothing wrong with protests. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing.
And Mayor Adams, who met with President-elect Trump just last week, he, along with Governor Hochul, will appear at 2 King commemorations in our city throughout the day. Mike, I'll send things back inside.